All right, y'all. So, one of the main things that, you know, guys need to understand is that, you know, when you're with a woman, when you are, serious with a woman, and maybe to the point where, you're going to move in together or you're going to get married or something like that, something just where it's a lot more serious, it is important to understand that you need to be in a position where you are providing for her. Keep yourself safe. This is going to keep yourself safe. I'm telling you right now. Because at the end of the day, just say you move in with a woman, right? You need to cover the rent. You need to cover the bills, the main necessities, and there's a reason for that. Because it's in a woman's nature to want to be protected and provided for by a man, right? To be, how should I put it? I wouldn't say coddled. Um, she needs to feel like you're responsible for her. Especially because we as men, right, we want the lead. We want to take the lead. We want to be able to be the leader in the relationship, right? So it's important, for you to be responsible over her, have the authority over her. In order to have the authority over her and to be able to lead her, you need to be responsible for her. Okay? That's important to know. Right? It's important, man, because a lot of guys out here, man, and yo, this is coming off of like direct experience, not only just in my life and my past when I was younger, but also from people that come to me and ask me for advice and tell me the situation and things like that. You know, women in their nature, they want to feel like the man. Sometimes they won't even tell you straight up, but it's like they just want to feel, you know, like you're taking care of her. It's like a basic need of a woman, okay? Once you get that handled, you know, that's the biggest part of it. It's gonna make your life a hell of a lot easier. You cannot have your woman paying half the rent. She's not a roommate. She's not your sister, right? You can't have her paying half the rent. That's a subconscious big no-no. You understand? You gotta handle the rent. You gotta handle the bills and the food. Maybe she can help with the food, right? If she's working and stuff like that. But for the most part, you need to handle the bills, the shelter, where y'all live, right? It's very important, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, man, you are responsible for her, okay? Now, here's another thing. When you're with a woman and you're living with her, you need to keep expanding on the relationship. What does that mean? Okay, so let's say you're having sex with your girl, for like 2-3 years straight, and she's living with you. Subconsciously, she's a woman, right? She wants to nest. That's the nature of the woman. The man builds the foundation, right? And the woman nests in that foundation, and she builds upon it for the man, right? While the man goes out and gets more sticks or resources, money, you know what I'm saying? So, you need to be able to keep expanding on your relationship. So what does that mean? Okay. Going back to what I said about having sex. Just say you're having sex with her for about 2-3 years. In the back of her mind as a woman, she's thinking, why is this man not impregnated me yet? Is his seed healthy? Can he get me pregnant? It's a subconscious thing in a woman's mind, right? The act of sex is for procreation, right? Of course, for pleasure and all that kind of stuff. We all love that shit, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, you are, um, to nature for two humans to get together and procreate, just like animals, right? Not saying the animals just do it for pleasure and just seek each other out just to get off, right? But at the end of the day, man, in the back of her mind, if she's having sex with you, she's gonna be, subconsciously, she don't even know it. It's subconscious. She's thinking to herself, in the back of her mind, why is this man not impregnated me? Is something wrong with his sperm? Okay? So then she might switch up on you, act all crazy, and test you like crazy and not really respect you and shit. But she don't even know why. Most women disrespect their man and they don't even fucking know why. There's always an underlying thing, and it usually has to do with their safety, with their security, or something with when it comes to protection or provisions and stuff like that. A man's gift to a woman is his seed, right? A woman's gift to a man is the child, legacy, right? So you have to think of that, man. It's serious, man. This is serious shit. All these people dating these chicks for 3, 4, 5 years, and they wonder why they're having all these problems and shit. It's because you need to look at nature. You gotta look at nature, man. I don't know why nature is such a hard thing to understand. Men are women, men are men, women are women. You know what I'm saying? We have our differences, we come together and we create. There's a way it works, right? Just like anything. So, if you're a guy and you've been living with your woman for 3 years, you need to look at it getting her pregnant or bouncing. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You can't just live your life stagnant. You need to grow. You need to expand. Life is about expansion to a point where you are enlightened. You understand? That's what we're here to do. We're here to deal with challenges. We're here to deal with problems whilst we're trying to grow and expand. You know what I'm saying? Just like a business. A business is going to have its challenges. It's going to have its problems, on the path and journey of expansion. Because the goal of business is to expand and grow, right? Not just survive. Yeah, business can just survive. But at the end of the day, come on. You know what I mean? Why are you in business for? Just to survive? Some people are. I'm not going to knock them. But a better business is one that grows and expands, and then takes on more staff and employees, and puts people in a position where they can earn money off of that business, and then provide for their families and shit. Right? So, like I said, man, to all the dudes out there thinking, "Oh, I don't want kids yet." Well, look, that's cool. You as a man, I believe that you are a real man when you are responsible for other people, right? Especially if you're in your late 30s and 40s, you need to have children. Especially if you're in your 40s. If you ain't got a child yet and you're in your 40s, yeah, man, it's just kind of, I'll be honest with you, when I meet a dude and he's 40 plus and he don't got a kid yet, I look at him differently. I just can't help it. I don't really see him on my level. I don't see him, having children makes you responsible. It makes you see things differently. It helps you grow. Obviously not everybody, okay? I'm not going to generalize here. But yeah, just going back to what I said, man. If you live with a woman for a long time, you need to keep expanding on the relationship. You have to start thinking about family. You know what I'm saying? Building a family. If you don't want to be with her, leave, right? If you don't want to have children with her, why are you with her? All right? This is all nature shit that we're gonna be touching a lot more on. So look, I hope somebody gets some value from this. Definitely share this video. Subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be coming out with a lot more. You're gonna find out a lot more about me too. I'm gonna talk a lot about my background and everything like that as well. So, share this video with your girls if you're a girl. Share it with your boys if you're a guy. You know what I'm saying? And help this channel grow because I got a lot more value to give, man. All right. But yeah, all the best to everybody out there. Peace.